What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Back Pocket Creative. And this week, gonna be short again. Sorry, but with New Year's coming and Christmas just passing by, I just wanted to kind of get on here and just kind of say, once again, I say it a lot, but I'm super thankful for anyone that's watching, anyone that's supporting me, and things like that. Really, really appreciate you listening. And one thing, this kind of like time that I've kind of been reflecting on and whatnot, this just past couple of weeks and stuff, is how like I think over the last, I'd say 8 years, one thing I never really did was I never really prioritized myself during these times at the end of the year. So like I know like people are like they got personal goals and they have this, that, and the other. I always just felt so overwhelmed with going into the year because of what job titles I had held and what I kind of was in charge of. I never really focused on my personal like goals, ambitions, what I want to do for the year, etc. And so one thing I've been doing this year is embracing the things personally that I want to do, but then also understanding like realistic things and understanding like I'm a busy person. I still have a lot going on, still in charge of a lot. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that the goals that I have in other areas of my life, so work and stuff like that, that they're pushing me personally, if that makes sense. So while I'm being creative in different areas, I'm trying to set goals for myself to hit certain just milestones on a personal side inside what I'm doing for work. And so those are some things that I've just been working on. Then another thing is I've just been trying to kind of scratch the surface of some of the dreams that I've had and kind of lay the rest through what I was and doing, you know, for the past 8 years, and not really having any time to see any of those dreams come through because I was fulfilling other people's dreams and I was carrying the vision for other people. And so one thing that I am kind of committing to do, is I am going to finish writing a short film that I've kind of like been like teetering on for probably a decade, if not longer. And I am going to pursue that, try to get it finished in 2023. It may not be possible because of everything. So it may be something where in the 2023, I'm kind of getting in the production of it and things like that and finalizing things to actually film it and make it happen. But I'm going to push myself more and more this year into film, into that craft, because that's what got me in all of this is I just wanted to be a filmmaker. And so this is a different path than I would have personally taken to get to that point. But I still want to be a storyteller. I still want to be a filmmaker. And so that's one thing I'm going to be pushing into personally. And then there's going to be other aspects of the positions I hold at different places where I'm going to try to fulfill that as well. Try to tell more stories, do visual stuff, and do more engaging stuff with film. So that's one thing. Another thing is keep growing this podcast. So I've been saying it for a while, but guests are coming, things like that. Just kind of scheduling stuff. And like I've said in the episode before, as an office at CA, we're very much in the middle of transition in the sense that we're building sets and building different studios and stuff like that. And so we're kind of shifting different things and then about to launch a new show with another host. And then refining other things, working on courses, working on ebooks. So there's a lot that here. And then I have other things that I'm doing, other projects and contracts that I have. And so one thing that I've really been trying to do this year, and then even extending into next year, is kind of grow our content here. So one thing we've done here is, you know, the podcast we had going here was a singular podcast and a singular focus, a very niche focus. So what I've now spent this past year doing is kind of unwinding what we want to do as a house. And so we've very much course corrected, gone in very specific lanes, but with different shows. And then we've kind of cranked down being so niche that people can't connect. And so we've kind of peeled back some onions. And so that's kind of what I've been working on here is really trying to tell a story of what we are, but then also really try to produce people and produce shows and produce different things that are going on. So that's one thing I think I'm going to get into a little bit, is that side of the creative, is the managing people and trying to communicate and that kind of thing. That's what I'm going to be pressing into, I think, next year, or very soon, when it's not guests and things like that. I think I'm just going to kind of talk about like the kind of leading a vision as a creative and not being afraid. Like, you may not be a visionary, but as a creative, you can creatively problem solve things, and be able to lead. And so even if you're not leadership material, you can still definitely lead people and lead vision and lead the charge in things. And so I'm going to talk, because I never saw myself as a natural born leader. I just didn't. Some people were like, oh, you're good at this, you're good at that. I just never saw myself as that. I saw myself as someone that was very much good doing their own thing. But then also, hey, I've been able to fall in line and listen and stuff like that to other people. And so I think my willingness to follow other people, my willingness to learn from other people, has helped me to develop somewhat of a leadership bone in my body so that I can kind of lead people. And it's strange because, like I said, I never really saw myself like that. But then I started realizing, as I acquired knowledge, and I still have so much to learn, but, I'm able to help lead people in this area, this niche area that I am in the creative space. And that's what I'm going to encourage you this year, is to make it a point to start casting vision, whether it's in your personal field or at your job or on a creative project or whatever. Start jumping in and being the one to lead the way. And obviously you may not have that opportunity all the time, but when you do, don't just pass it off. Don't just let somebody else take it. Like, if you've got that opportunity, jump into it, make it happen. Because that's one thing I've seen growth in this year, is my willingness to be like, to say no, like, I don't like that. Like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Like, we should go a different direction. Like, it's hard to say that, especially to people that you respect and people that you work with and people that, are maybe better than you in different areas. But then seeing foresight as a creative, knowing, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work in this environment, or like, hey, maybe it'd be better if it was this. So I say all that to say, challenge you this year, grab a hold of something, own it, and lead it with whatever you can inside you, whatever you've grown in, whatever you know in your field. Lead in your field, lead in what you know. So it's been a great year. It's going to continue to be a better year in 2023. I hope everything just goes well for you, that as you kind of fix your eyes on the prize that is 2023 and whatever goals you have in that, I hope that you fulfill them and that you start out strong and you keep going. So see you next time.